All right, we're back. BroPartisan Hacks here, chilling on a morning. Yeah, we got a story for you.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday of all times, yeah. So the military, right? U.S. military. We throughout the history of the United States, we've used the military as a bunch of guinea pigs for stuff, right?
Yeah.
This has been the thing, kind of what we do. We're like, hey, we got these volunteer soldiers here. How about some medical experiments?
Yeah.
So we've done that for years, right? And they've always tried weird things. You saw the story of, like, what is it? The men who look at goats, right? In the World War II movie with George Clooney. You remember that? So that was real. They were a real group that was trying to use, because they had reports that the Germans were doing like paranormal research. So the U.S., of course, had to do their own. And so the men who stare at goats was a real thing, trying to use psychic powers and telekinetic powers on goats. So that segues into medical research, right? And the U.S. military has usually been pretty good about keeping track of how many soldiers come in with like a sickness or an illness, you know, how many times are admitted. So we have a worldwide force of like 1.4 million active duty soldiers, right? Somewhere in that neighborhood. And we're usually pretty good about how many times someone gets sick, broken ankle, yada, 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 right? All of those things are recorded. However, if the new data that's coming out from the military is accurate, then we've been screwing that data up for the last 5 or 6 years. And not by like a little bit, but like 700%.
Yeah.
Okay? So,
Go ahead.
These blue lines here track ambulatory visits within the Department of Defense over the last from 2016 to 2020. So 5 years of data here, right? In 2021, this is partial data of 21 million. So this seems really interesting, right? Like, what happened here? So we're at 2 million roughly every year of a force of a military force of 1.4 million. That now we had 21.5 million hospital visits over last year. So why is that? Right? Questions. Of course, the answer is that it was just a glitch in the system. These were only a fraction of the real numbers that existed. For the last 4 years, we had screwed this data up, but now we've got it corrected. And so within a week, they had 4 years worth of data screwed up. Within a week, they have resupplied with this table. 2021 wasn't anomalous. In fact, it was down from 2019. So they want you to believe that there were 23 million occurrences of hospital visits for the 1.4 million soldiers in 2019, and that were actually down from previous years. So even if they had the right numbers, they were able to fix all of this in a week.
You have that. You just had those.
You just had that laying around there. You knew it was so. Then you knew it was screwed up, and you just had it laying around. Or you're making stuff up now. Which is it?
So, I gotta say, with the Pentagon, in regards to the Pentagon, remember when they did an audit a few years ago?
No, I don't remember them ever doing an audit on the Pentagon.
So they did. It's like I think it was before Trump took office. I don't remember. Anyway, there was like Brazilians of dollars that they were like, we don't know what's going on there. I don't know what it's for. They're like, I don't
know. These are all black book things. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we spent that. But
I can't tell you what it was on.
We don't know. Like seriously, like it was in the billions. I remember that it was in the billions of dollars that they really just had no idea, or they wouldn't report it to Congress.
Yeah, they wouldn't. It was either unreportable or missing. Like yeah.
Like so, no, they did an audit, like a money audit with the Pentagon. They sent over accountants and whatnot, and they were just like, yeah, even if we knew what we did with that money. We wouldn't tell you, but we don't know, or something like that. But they went and they did like a congressional hearing and all that shit, and they were just like, so, so like I'm not surprised by this at all. Like this does not surprise me. They do funny math at the Pentagon, and they just make shit up.
Yeah, this is all like. So, like, doctors use this, like, hospitals, research facilities use this data, right? Because, like you said, like I prefaced this with, like, the military does a lot of experiments, and so, like, for experimental things like experimental vaccines, they're on the forefront of these things, and they're always used as guinea pigs, essentially. Like, they'll get a batch of recruits, and they'll be like, all right, we're gonna inject all of you with this and see what happens. And you have to do it. Like, it's fine. So
and if you don't, you're AWOL.
Yeah, if you don't, like,
you're going to Fort Leavenworth.
Too bad, whatever. You're done. So there's two more charts here that are very interesting. So this is by nervous systems, diseases by the nervous system. So like a twitch or a tremor or something like that would qualify as something like as minor as that versus like cerebral palsy or something like that. Like those are all nervous system diseases. So it could be like I get a twitch from not drinking my coffee or whatever. That would fall into this category. 968% increase from 2020 to 2021 partial data. But we fixed it. They couldn't do, so this is the pulmonary embolism. So this is like severe heart conditions, right? They couldn't fix this one enough to make it look like it was coming down. Whether they did it again.
You couldn't have like, come on, you couldn't have it all match up.
You couldn't have it all match up the exact same.
They had to be like,
trend.
Okay, look, we don't want it to look the same, so it's got to look like this.
It's got to look like this.
Something has to go up right here.
All right, so we can have this go up. So, but this doesn't even make any sense, right? So, like, you're going to go from, like, 968 amongst a field of candidates that are, like, 18 to 25, right? So, like, young, healthy adults, majority men, you're going to have this 260% increase, but then say, out of your field of 1.4 million soldiers, that it's just been this high with major heart failures and heart conditions?
That's really not that high. What are those numbers, in millions or in thousands?
I think this is like total numbers. So like, but again, like the rate of it's like 1 per 100,000 is the normal statistic for 18 to 25 to have some sort of heart condition. So like these numbers are representative of the global average, right? Based on a population size. These numbers are not.
Wow. The numbers are way too high. So overprotected with vaccine. The revised numbers to show zero increase in ailments that are universally understood to have increased. Yeah, that's true. Like, everybody knew that shit went up, but it went up in 2021 or in 2020 also. So that's weird.
Yeah. So acute pericarditis. This is the myocarditis thing that people are talking about. The enlargement of the heart. They're enlargement of muscle tissue in the heart, right? It actually went down. Yeah, that one went down. So these numbers are very small. You have the 500, 500, 499, 850. So pretty large increase here. But turns out we actually went down over the last couple of years.
That's crazy.
So either there was a massive vaccine injury in the military, or the military has been very unhealthy, and the Pentagon completely lost control over surveillance for these last few years. One of these two things happen. So either they're lying about it, or you have an extremely unhealthy military. Or
they've been lying about it.
Right. And we have an extremely unhealthy military. Like, these numbers don't add up to even the national average. And the national average, the BMI, is way higher than it is in the military.
Yeah,
so even statistically speaking, just as a per capita basis, these numbers don't match up. So you're telling me this group of 18 to 25-year-olds is 3 times as unhealthy as the average fat American citizen? Yeah. It doesn't make any sense.
Man, you'd have to really dig into this. Because yeah, it says if we have over 20 million diagnoses every year in the military, then we probably need to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Like, because you're right. These are 18 to 25-year-olds that are supposedly in shape.
Yeah. Like, are your barracks like doubling for like bacteria breeding grounds for research? Like,
well, that may be true because people are gross.
People are gross, but
staff gets around.
Staff, yes, it does get around, but it doesn't cause pulmonary embolisms. It causes your leg to rot off or whatever and makes you die, but it doesn't cause a pulmonary embolism. And I don't think a staph disease would cause any sort of nervous disorder, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Yeah, it might. It can.
Okay. I think by that point though, your arm has to be like gone.
But it's like syphilis.
Oh, so it like gets into your brain stem. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
I don't know about staph. I know about like it's really bad stuff. And it'll kill you dead. That's what I know about staph infections. It looks like a little worm with a hook on it.
Yeah, one time we forgot to do the laundry for our athletes, and we just threw their clothes in the dryer. And we're like, shit, we're just serving up hot staph. Like, just... oh.
It was like,
hot
why is
staph,
my shirt
everybody.
warm and smelly?
Hot staph for everyone.
As much as I sweated in like high school gym class, like I would have known. And my shirt would have come out starched and like walking on its own.
I'm sure they did know.
It was gross.
Gross. I had some guilt about that one.
You should have. You're trying to hurt your kids. So yeah, these numbers don't make sense. We either have the most unhealthy military in the world, or they're lying, trying to cover up severe injury from last year. And of course it's the Pentagon, so I of course lean to it's a cover up. They're trying to cover something and hide something else that's going on because it's the Pentagon and that's what they do.
Yeah. Like I said, it doesn't surprise me that their numbers are screwy and they just produce weird numbers all the time. It's not anything new. They're literal pieces of shit.
But that's it. That's all I had for this one. That's all I really wanted to point out. It was just we're to the point where we're making stuff up nowadays at the military and national level to cover for a very healthy, normally healthy group to make them look sicker than they are. Or they're all sick. And we have the weakest military in the world because everyone has puny immune systems, and if we send them over to somewhere with rampant malaria or West Nile disease, they're all just going to die. Like, that's what these numbers are telling me. Like don't leave the United States. Don't leave your base because you're sick enough as it is.
Or maybe they don't want to go over there, so they make some shit up too.
Maybe. Oh God, oh my heart. I mean, these are diagnoses, and the military doctors don't play around usually.
No, they're like athletic trainers.
Yeah, they're like, you're fine. You stubbed your toe.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Put some ice on it. We'll tape you up. Get in there.
Yeah, your light duty is still like run 5 miles. Get out there. Like
it's funny because it's like when we tell kids, we're like, hey, look, if you go to the doctor, if you go to a regular doctor, you're out for 3 weeks. Like, it doesn't matter. Like it could be nothing. It could be something. But if you go to a regular doctor with a owie, done, 3 weeks, you're out. You're not gonna play, because we have to follow what the doctor says. If you go to the trainer is going to tell you how to get back faster. Now, if something's serious, our trainer's really good about like, look, that's broken. Like, I can tell you.
He's got stress fractures all up and down his leg. He needs to go
get an X-ray. Like, it's serious. And then, that's kind of what we need, like, we need somebody that's going to be like, hey, no, you're fine. Well, I'll tape you up, but you're fine. Like, or, no, don't get out there. Stop.
We had a kid who got a mild concussed in the middle of the game. He was a quarterback. And he kept trying to run out there. And so, like, we literally had like 3 guys who rode the bench, and we were like, all right, y'all's job is to keep him right here. No matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he says. He stays right here. Because he kept trying to run back out there, and he'd run out to the numbers, right? So he got pretty far out onto the field, like no helmet on, like trying to go back out in the field. I gotta get back out there, guys. My team needs me. Like, Q, your eyes are crossed, and they look like dinner plates. Like, you are messed up in the head. You have a head injury. Like, you need to sit down.
Yeah,
that was a rough game. Anyway, so yeah. That's the military for you. Always lying. That's all I had. Hacks out.
All right. Hacks out. Thank you for watching this episode of BroPartisan Hacks with Reese and Rob. We really, really appreciate you watching, tuning in. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to us. We're putting out content as often as we can. Share it with your friends. Get it out there. Get our names out there. Also, hit that bell. Tap that bell right there so that you can get updated when we put out a new video. Rob and I are trying to pump these videos out as often as we can. However, we both have day jobs. We have families, so our schedules have to line up so that we can make a new video. Speaking of our day jobs, our opinions and views expressed are our own and in no way represent those of our respective employers. Thank you. Thanks again for watching.